this is why I took it up first. When I came to learn that what had happened is that Raja had come to a decision, and I found that he didn't alone take the decision. Raja has at least announced the decision that spectrum licenses will be sold at the price it was sold in 2001. In 2008. In 2001, the country was having only 4 crore or 40 million mobile phones. Today, India has, the purchases of mobile phones now total 700 million, 70 crores. Such a big demand growth has taken place, and the sector has become extremely profitable. So, if you went by the market price, since 2G, was not auctioned, but sold at 2001 price, 3G was sold at auction price. Auction price shows that the ratio between 2001 price for spectrum and 2008 is 10 times. 10 times. And if you want to know the detail, the exact prices, etc., I have a book out which has been published a few weeks ago called 2G Spectrum Scam. And Mr. Guru is sitting here, and he will be, he will be able to tell you how to order it. I think there's Flipkart.com also. I can send it to you directly online. But anyway, I've given all the details in that. Now, what is this 2G and what is this 3G and all? People sometimes get confused, you see. Somebody asked Manmohan Singh, do you know what 2G is? I'm sure you know all of it. Yeah. He said Sonia Ji and Rahul Ji. These are the 2Gs. Well, if I can grossly simplify it, it is like this, that when I pick up a cordless phone and I speak on it, my voice goes and nothing else. And there the voice travels in a cycle. That is 1G. That is G for generation. So it's the first generation. Then second generation, emails, SMS, MMS, those cycles travel, voice travels in a more frequent, there are more frequencies, higher frequency sound waves, and that is 2G. Then if you want your video, so I'm speaking to you, I want to see you, and you want to see me, that is 3G. So the higher the number of frequencies, the more is the data you can send and that's the distinction. Now, when Raja sold this 2G for 1/10 the price, he so arranged it that 2 companies in particular will be the first and second to get it. He first said everyone can apply and all will get. That was a recommendation of the regulator, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, TRAI as it's briefed. They said, no cap should be there. Everybody should get. And the price should be so fixed that only those who can afford those prices will get the license. So the question of supply must adjust to the demand. But Raja then decided, after first saying that everybody can apply, then he said, no, everyone who applies before 1st October 2007, they will be considered. And when did he announce this? He announced this on 25th September. Only 5 days left. So people who are planning to do it after Diwali and all, they had to rush, and they filed. And even then 575 applications came. So 25th September cutoff date, 25th September he announces that 1st October is the cutoff date. After 2 months, on January 10th, he issues a press release in his ministry's website, not in newspapers and all that, that effective today, that is 10th of January, he issues this press release when 2:45 p.m. He says 2:45 p.m. he issues a press release that effective today between 3:30 and 4:30, all those 575 people who applied will not qualify, but only those who applied before 25th September. First condition. Even then it turned out to be 125 companies, 125 applications. And he said that not only they must have applied before 25th and on or before 25th of September, but between 3:30 and 4:30 p.m. they must bring a demand draft for 1650 crores, which is the 2001 price per spectrum. Oh, you can't get even 1 crore demand draft in such a short. 2:45 and from between 3:30 and 4:30. It's essentially what you're saying is that 1 hour 45 minutes. In 1 hour 45 minutes, 1650 crores of demand draft. Well, 9 companies had come with demand draft. Some of them are so shameless that they even had a predated demand draft. You see? Some, of course, managed with the banks to see that the date is the same as January 10th, even though they got it before. That means there was a leak. But because his 2 favorite companies, one was a real estate company called Swan, which had no other business except real estate, no experience in telecom, and the other was Unitech, another real estate company, which had no experience in telecom, not a single tower, nothing. Both these companies were already sitting in Raja's room when that press release was made out. And exactly at 3:30, the private secretary of Raja, he took them to the counter and they gave the demand draft. Both were predated 3 days before, and they got the license. And the other 7 also came, they had already got the demand drafts, they also got it. So in total 9 companies, Tata's included, Spice included, and Idea included, so many others. These companies all got their licenses. Now, what all these companies did is, after getting the license, they sold it to foreign companies, the controlling interest, or a substantial interest. Swan sold it to Etisalat. Unitech sold it to Telenor. Tata sold it to Docomo. Like that, all of them sold it to foreigners, except Tata, which sold it for 13 times what they paid. Swan and Tata's could bargain because they said, we'll give you the towers, we'll give you this, and we'll give you that to Docomo. So they charged 13 times. And Swan and Unitech couldn't bargain, so they got 8 times. The actual price was 10 times. So they sold for 8 times. And if they had actually sold it for the market price, you would have got 1,76,000 crores more. What we got ultimately was only 14,000 crores. But we would have got another 1,76,000, a total of 1.90 crores as revenue. But because of this, it happened. Now, there is a rule which says that you cannot, once getting a license, within 3 years sell your license. So they found some technicality. We are not selling the license, but we are diluting shareholders. In effect, they are giving the controlling interest to the foreigner. And you call this as dilution of equity. These are all the usual tricks. And they went through. Now, Home Ministry has a report called an advisory, much before this transaction, that we have information that Etisalat and Telenor, Etisalat bought from Swan and Telenor bought from Unitech, that these two companies are trying to enter India.